Yeah. And so we are refreshed, we are revitalized, and we're poised to bring you more right here on the show. The show is proudly brought to you by Hisense Ghana. Hey, but Hisense, I haven't heard from you. Hey, what is happening? What is happening? Y'all Odu.
You know, when we had this guest on, right? Isaac Amoya, the gentleman that spoke about insurance and all that. He came to my inbox and was like, yo, where my 3 ACs?
I don't understand. Like, Hisense, we celebrated Christmas. It's a new year. Oh, wait, you're waiting for what? It's Easter? Because Easter is right around the corner, right? March, like April. Well, March is actually my birth month.
Oh, really?
23rd.
Happy birthday in advance.
Like you don't know. 23rd March is my birthday. And so, yeah, it's a good time to, you know, create some magic. But anyway, if you're looking for appliances, anything that has to do with your kitchen, your living room, or whatever it is, Hisense Ghana should be your go-to. They sell everything appliance. And your quality for very cheap prices, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the prices in the market, when you look at the quality they offer, I've had a Hisense fridge for like, what, 6 or 7 years?
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
And I haven't had to service it. It's nothing's wrong with the fridge. And so, and this is not an ad, okay? I'm not an influencer for them. I'm telling you how quality the product is. And so if you're looking for anything appliances, your go-to place should be Hisense Ghana. Of course, my name is Noella Karen Yali. I'm here with a man who loves to be referred to as my better half, but he doesn't do anything that should warrant him that title. So, Yao Odum is here.
You see, when people start cheating, this is how they start to talk. This is how you know somebody's cheating on you. First was like, I'm my better half. It comes with some energy. Right now, I like to call myself.
Because I was optimistic about the future. I was looking into the future, and I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe,
it's still bright,
oh, it's not bright, please. It's not bright. Christmas, we didn't dry on the social media, so normal for 4 gifts. Dry.
Wait, please, but Noella, I made a post of you and I. Showered you with praises and stuff.
That praises we go chop. That praises we go chop.
Anyway, my name is Yao Odum. As Noella said, this is the Church of Ice TV show.
Yeah.
Every Saturday at 11 a.m. we're here.
Yeah.
Hisense is our partner. TVs, fridges. There was one product that Noella and our producer mentioned, but that one I don't know about that. But yes, TVs, fridges. Microwaves.
You
know, I stopped by when they were doing a promo, and I saw this air fryer. I think they become like really cool stuff.
Yeah, air fryer is like the new oven. A lot of people are, you're thinking about your health, right? So they don't want to do the fried, chicken, fried fish. They want to do, air fried stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So today we're continuing, or we're bringing back the conversation around fire and safety. We're in 2025. It's a must for every one of our viewers to thrive. But one thing that can interfere with that is fire. We've seen what's been happening in Ghana and abroad. We're going to be having a conversation on fire and safety, and to delve into it and also do some education around it. We've seen the Kantamanto one that happened.
The Tamale one.
There's the Tamale one.
The Kumasi one.
Yeah.
And abroad, there's the California catastrophic fires. So, yeah. Crazy.
It's been crazy. And so there's definitely the need for us to have a conversation around it. What do we need to do to prevent it? How do we manage it if we find ourselves in that situation?
Yeah.
This is what we're going to be talking about today.
And it's instructive to note that we've had this conversation before.
Yes.
But it's become very important that we have it again because, I mean, it's crazy. It started off, I think when the year started, when we had the guest we're about to talk to, at that time, it was just, a house or something?
Yeah, it was just a house.
It was just a house, and we were talking about it, and all of a sudden now it's become markets and all of that. It's crazy. It's alarming. And so we're going to expand the conversation and probably even educate our market women on what to do, what not to do, right here on Church or Die. So taking a quick breather. When we come back, the show will start.
Okay, so you're welcome back to the Church of Die TV show. That was a quick break from Hisense. In line with these conversations that we've been talking about, fire, among other stuff, and us staying safe, we had awesome Debbie Sway in town to talk to some people in town to see what they know about this situation, talk about fire extinguishers and all that. So we're going to join Debbie Sway, and then when we come back, we start the conversation and introduce our guest in the studio.
Back on your screens. Today we're on the streets of Circle at the Tiptoe Lane, and we are asking people what they think a fire extinguisher is. It may seem like a very trivial question, but it's very important, you know, considering how lately there's been so many wildfires at the Cantonment market, and even now in Los Angeles as we're speaking. We need to know our safety tools. And do you know what a fire extinguisher is?
My name is Isaac.
So Mr. Isaac, if Firefox is a web browser, what is a fire extinguisher?
A fire extinguisher is used to quench fire.
That's you're sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Clap for good. Clap for good.
Nana Kwajo. So if Firefox is a web browser, what is a fire extinguisher?
Ade dumuja. In case BBS emergency and how the car I'm going to be just me tom. What me age now the dumuno.
Me the Philip Boating.
Mr. Philip Boating, Mpacho, if Firefox is a web browser where we browse on the internet, fire extinguisher, what is a fire extinguisher?
Fire extinguisher, the dumja. And only the dumja.
Clap for good. Clap for good.
Aroma Success.
Aroma Success. Why that name?
Oh, that I'm a musician, so that's the name I chose, yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So the question is, if Firefox is a web browser, what is a fire extinguisher?
Fire extinguisher is used to consume fire.
Wow. That's your final answer?
That's my final answer, yeah.
You're confident about it?
I'm very confident about it.
So if Firefox is a web browser, what is a fire extinguisher in your own terms?
Oh, fire extinguisher is a cylinder with a foam or carbon dioxide, which you used to quench fire if fire outbreak. Yeah.
Please, what's your name?
I'm Nana Subonten.
Mr. Nana Subonten. We say Firefox is a web browser where we browse on the internet. If that is so, then what is a fire extinguisher?
Well, from the knowledge of Ghana Fire Service, Omamiati as a fire extinguisher chemicals yedi dumja ewa bra torenchem asie. Henti the idea me to minim kakra ewo hono no.
Oh my God! Wow!
What's your name?
My name is Tofik.
Okay, so if Firefox is a web browser where we browse on the internet, then what is a fire extinguisher?
I want the question. I don't get it clear. Now I go be hard.
Hey! Please, what's your name and what do you do here in Circle?
My name is Jacob Thompson. I'm the General Manager of Authorized Food and Services.
All right, so if Firefox is a web browser, what is a fire extinguisher?
Fire extinguisher, as the name explains itself, fire and extinguisher. So it's a particular kind of item that is used by personnel. It can be a normal person or a fire officer to extinguish fire. So it has this kind of chemical inside it, like I don't know whether it's carbon dioxide or something that we use in often switching off fire, or something. Yeah. So that's my idea on what a fire extinguisher is. Yeah.
Julian Thompson.
Okay, so if we say Firefox is a web browser, then what is a fire extinguisher?
Oh, fire extinguisher, we used to quench fire.
Are you sure about your answer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Have you ever used a fire extinguisher, and can you describe how it looks?
Oh, yeah, it's a red container.
All right, so I'm here with?
Averico Samuel.
Okay, Mr. Samuel, what do you do here in Circle?
Yeah, I'm a supervisor at Other Rice here. Yes.
So please, when we say a fire extinguisher is used to quench fire, what is a Firefox then?
Firefox. Firefox, okay. Firefox, those who quench the fire.
Why? No, why? I go shout, yes!
Hello, pretty girl. What's your name?
Please, I'm Kezia.
Okay, Kezia. So, if Firefox is a web browser, what then is a fire extinguisher?
Fire extinguisher is used to quench fire in case of a fire outbreak.
Fire extinguisher, we used to maybe, it's emergency, it's emergency, I think, I don't know the full meaning of the extinguisher, but it's emergency that you can maybe keep it in your office. Maybe in case of small fire, that you can use to quench it. Yeah.
So how useful do you think a fire extinguisher is?
Oh, it's fine, but moreover, we know Africa, our mentality is different. Because sometimes when white man brings something, you know that the thing is going to be useful. That's why they brought it. But mostly I have to advise the shop's owners that at least they're supposed to have one fire extinguisher in their shops or even in their home. Those who have, they can have some in their home. So that maybe in case of emergency, they can use it to quench the fire.
You've heard what they had to say. Some people think that Firefox is the people or the firefighters, and some people also think that a fire extinguisher, I mean, they have no idea what it is. And it is very concerning on how people are not really aware of the safety tools for their own safety measures when it comes to fire outbreaks. And my name is Debbie Sway, and this is Church Diaries. Don't go nowhere. Your girl Debbie Sway back on your screens. Today we're on the streets of Circle at the Tiptoe Lane, and we are asking people what they think a fire extinguisher is. It may seem like a very trivial question, but it's very important, you know, considering how lately there's been so many wildfires.
Okay, so that was Debbie Sway at Circle speaking to people about what a fire extinguisher is. Somebody say it be a cylinder. Someone to say
I am so
it's the
disappointed.
titration of the. That guy was. I'm sure
he
one of those guys that
he was fighting through his answers, you know. Yeah, but it's you know it shows how the education isn't there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
when it comes to some of these little things. Somebody was asked what a Firefox is. And
What did he say?
they were saying all kinds of things. It was the service people that, oh, please, a Firefox is a web browser. Okay, please, an open web browser. Like you have your Google and stuff, I beg. It is not any fire tenders or whatever. So once again, you're welcome. And this is Chocho Diaries. We're about to have a conversation on fires. And it's important because of what we have witnessed or have seen in these past few weeks and I dare say months as well. It's been back to back to back to back. You know, and it's not just here in Ghana alone. In the US, California, I mean, one of the upscale, you know, neighborhoods. People have lost your homes. It's sad. Some of the biggest celebrities, Hollywood celebrities you can think of, they have lost their homes to the catastrophic California fires. And just to give you a little bit of statistics, as of now, there are 11 people who are dead, we understand. And in terms of structures, we understand that nearly 180,000 residents have been evacuated. You know, they've lost your homes.
Wow.
And our very own Bozoma St. John's,
Yeah.
Jones or
St.
Jones?
John.
Yeah. She used to be the head of marketing at Netflix.
She's worked with Uber. She's worked with, I think, Apple as well.
Top, and she's Ghanaian. She had a home in California by the beach, beautiful house. She lost it to the fires. You know, a lot of celebrities. It's really a sad situation. We also understand that the structures affected over 13,400. So, you know, just to give you and when you go on social media, when you go on TikTok and you watch the videos, it's almost like the second coming of Christ, what the Bible warned us about. That is, if you're a Christian. If you're not, forget that. I never said that. But I'm trying to paint a picture of how intense and how serious this fire is. And when you come to Ghana, there's the Kantamanta fire. Sad. I watched some of the interviews that the people who are the victims, and you have old people who, they have their investment in this thing. That's all they have, and they've lost it. And it's just really, really sad. And you go to Tamale Market. You go to Kumasi Market as well. So we're wondering what is happening. Is I don't know. Yeah. And it's the start of a new year, January, and we're having all of these, sad incidents happening. And so we thought it wise to bring in again our fireman, not the fireman on Adun TV. This is a real fireman, okay? And we really appreciate him joining us because as it is right now, we understand there's a big fire happening somewhere. He's got to be there, but he's taken time off that busy schedule to be here to talk with us. And so you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here, as usual.
You want to introduce yourself?
I'm ADO1, Alex King Nartey. I'm an Assistant Divisional Officer 1 with the Public Relations Department.
That's right.
National Affairs.
He's a big man, okay? Big man. So once again, we're very appreciative of your presence here. What is happening to our markets? What's happening?
In fact, should we say what's happening to the world?
To the world.
Because right now, it's like everywhere you sleep, you wake up. Even in your dreams, you are seeing fire.
Yeah.
You see, before I come to that question, let me again draw attention back to the Los Angeles fire. Okay. And then ask ourselves if this happens in Ghana. This is the Obroni man's land. That's supposed to be well resourced. And they're even facing challenges.
Yeah, I saw them using buckets of water to put out
sandbags. They even use lady sandbags to fetch water to go and pour in the water.
And I'm like, hey, we always, lambast our fire people, but,
So even they are more resourced.
Yeah.
And they're suffering like this.
Yeah.
So this should, again, raise an attention that if this should happen in Ghana, what's next?
Unless we lock the country down.
So this should be a wake-up call because I'm sure America, firefighting for their safety is paramount to them.
Yeah.
A lot of investment is done in the fire fighting on the fire department over there. So even with that place where lots of investments are made, there's still attacks on their governors and mayors that they've not done much more for them. So I'm wondering that in this our country, that much has not been done at all for the fire service. If we should find ourselves in that situation, but we have the quality human resource. We'll put ourselves down, even if it takes a month, we'll fight it. But then with more resources, we could do that much easier and with lesser time. So yes, this should be a wake-up call to our leaders that they should tend to look at the fire service because when the fires happen like that, we use bullets to fight it.
So, again, I want us to, the last time you were here, we started a conversation with finding out some of the tips and some of the things we do wrong in our homes. We're limited to just the homes. But now it's imperative that we, extend or open that scope of conversation because of what we're experiencing. I saw you on TV at the Kantamanta fires, and so I know that you were on the ground, and so you have the facts. So far, per your investigation, what is it looking like, the cause of the fire?
Well, I don't want to jump the broom. We are still investigating, especially for a fire like this where the stakes are high. You just can't come up with any shambolic investigation. It has to go through series of processes. Get to our investigation departments, operations department, our chief fire officer himself has to review it before we release it. So it's in a process, but yes, I wouldn't want to jump the broom.
Okay, so then my next question then would be, in your past experiences with market fires, what has been that, constant cause of fire?
Well, it will be difficult to pinpoint one cause. There are quite a number of causes that we've noticed a trend. We won't pinpoint arson and we won't be comfortable with arson because then we want to explore other possibilities to be sure. But then over the years, we realize that electrical faults has been a major problem in these markets. Before this Kantamanta fire, I think last 2 years, we had a collaboration with the ECG. We went to Kantamanta fire, to the Kantamanta market. trust me, saw a lot of illegal connections. The electrician wasn't a qualified. Some old man with some bag me that was working around that is acclaimed as the
market electrician.
Exactly. There's a serious fire at Baulishi. There's a serious fire at Bechile, and there's another big one at Botiano. All at the same time as we speak.
Yeah.
Right now, we've channeled our car at Kaswa, our car at Weja, and our car at Anya to go to Botiano. So imagine if there's fire at La Paz, under fire somewhere. You see, so if there's a fire again at Anya, we'll have to move a fire tender from our national headquarters, Dankwa Circle, to go to Anya to fight that fire. That's how serious the situation is.
Honestly,
let me just strip this one in.
Go ahead.
I was at Konongo this past weekend. Our tender I gathered from our crew was there since JJ's time, former President Rollins' time. The appliance
tender is on retirement.
I'm telling you. So over 1 month, the tender is spoiled. And when there was 3 fires at Konongo, and we had to move the plants all the way from Ejiso, Kumasi Ejiso, to go to Konongo to fight. That's 1 hour straight.
Not the best.
I think for me,
it's really not the best.
Yeah, it points to a bigger conversation, and we've talked
about. And I mean, you were laughing when I said fire choppers. It's the way to go.
Yes, it's the way to go.
And I'm hoping that the right authorities, you're listening. It's 2025, and Ghana has become that exemplary country when it comes to gateway to Africa. You know, I dare say it's now the star of Africa, right? And so if we are the star of Africa, obviously we should do things that are in sync with global standards. And for our fire service to have a fire chopper, it's not far-fetched. It's not something that can't happen.
I don't think it's a matter of it being far-fetched, but I think it's a matter of kwachikwasi obema ontuma tienidin. If they are not even doing, the context is that even the basics, right, which is the fire tender, right, they are not doing it.
But I mean, to be fair, now we have a new government. It's a new year. Power to the people. We are very optimistic that not fire chopper. And I'm telling you, believe it. Exactly. Say amen.
Fire chopper.
Fire chopper. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah. I think the last time we received any fire tender, was during former President Tata Mills' time.
That's when,
we received fire.
So from that point to now, there hasn't been a purchase.
Not a single fire tender.
Anytime this conversation comes up.
That's crazy.
The question I want to ask is, so that was 2012. No, okay, at the late Tata Mills. I think that was 2009, 10. Into 2016. The question I want to ask is, how many V8s have been bought in that time?
No, but that one, you see, they call something low-hanging fruits. Those are the low-hanging fruits.
No, they are not low-hanging. Do you know the amount of money they are spending on these V8s?
And you see, these V8s will catch fire. And then you still, what tender would you expect?
Are you prophesying?
No, we use handbags to pour water. So I think the other side of the conversation is also, there's the knowledge side, and so I think it's good that we have the extinguishers in here. We can do education. Because from the interview that Debbie Sway did at Circle, one thing I keep seeing is that people just have the basic. Oh, fire extinguisher, is that cylinder? Is this bad? Do they know how to use it?
Someone said it's used to consume fire.
Consume fire, exactly. Do they know how to avoid fires and all that? So I think maybe we can touch on that as part of the conversation as well.
So the extinguishers are first aid. Just as you need paracetamol or, spirits when there's first aid, the fire extinguishers are also first aid when there's fire. But it's important to know that you only use the fire extinguisher when the fire started at the incipient stage or the early stage.
Okay.
You don't use the fire extinguisher when the fire is like what you are seeing at
It's raging, right?
Exactly. If it's within a room, the best thing to do is to try and go out and close the doors.
Okay.
In markets,
rather close the doors?
Because to prevent oxygen from coming in. Because oxygen will exacerbate the fire.
Okay, all right.
And then also, so practically...
But exacerbates, you're just saying?
Worsen it.
Okay.
Worsen.
Go ahead.
And so if I'm to relate it to the Cantamanto fire, for instance, one way to tackle a fire when it gets out of hand, for instance, like this, or you're a market folk and you see a fire like this going on, what you can do is what we call starvation. You starve the fire of the needed fuel. So when you start, so that's one thing we did. So if you came there, you realize that people had their materials all on the road because we try to starve it, get things away from the fire. So once we take things away from the fire does not get so much fuel to feed on.
So that is in the homes, right?
Both homes. So in the market like this, where it's very open, you can do in homes too. When we advise people not to go back inside. When the fire is burning inside, you don't go inside, because if you go inside, the fire the ceiling might fall and you might get trapped inside. You know, so kids and whenever the fire starts first, the kids and the elderly people are the people we should prioritize most,
right?
To try and get them out if we can. The kids and the elderly people.
Okay, so one thing I think I probably want us to do is, because it's information, generally Ghanaians don't like information. So maybe we walk through the process. Okay, there's fire. What's the first? Because in some places I see people have to shout fire, 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 maybe 3 times or this. You have to call this number, so that maybe we go through it in that way.
Okay.
And then we can move on to the practicals.
Okay, so when you get apart from fire extinguishers, I'll maybe anytime I come again, I'll bring a smoke detector.
A smoke detector.
Yes.
Okay.
So
those are mostly placed in homes, right?
Homes, and even in your studios here, you need them. So once, maybe, God forbid, if there's anything happening here, and then maybe the crew are outside, once the smoke comes into contact with the smoke detector, it will sound an alarm.
Okay.
It make a very irritating sound, drawing your attention that there's an impending danger somewhere. So the same with homes. For those who have 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, and maybe you're in the hall watching a movie, and then the fire starts in one room. Once it comes into contact with the smoke detector, it will sound an alarm and make noise and draw attention that there's something happening in one of the rooms. But without the smoke detector, you'll be there, and then before you realize, the fire will start consuming, and then you know where it started from. So it's important to have a smoke detector at home. Once you get the smoke detector and it draws your attention, then quickly you can attend to the fire with a fire extinguisher. But when you enter the room and you realize that the room is fast consumed, please try and close the windows and doors. Go to the meter. If you can put off the meter, try and put off the meter.
Why?
Because when you see electricity and water do not come into contact very well. And for now, when you enter the room, you don't know the source of the fire. You don't know if it's a socket, you don't know if it's a plug, you don't know if it's even the air conditioner or anything. So throwing water just at the fire, you stand the risk of being electrocuted and die.
But what if the windows are in the most part of the place that is being consumed by fire? How do you avert that?
So that's why I said if you can, then you close the window. But if you can't, don't close the window. So the first and important thing is to get the extinguisher. If we have an extinguisher, if you're not able to even put off the power supply, at least you can still use the extinguisher and it's safe. But then if you don't have an extinguisher and you have to use water, then you have to make sure that, one, your home, you don't have any illegal connection there that can, that power might still be passing through somewhere. So once you put off the meter, then you can adequately try and tackle it with fire. So if maybe you are 2 people at home, one person can try tackling it with water, another person can call an emergency line.
Wow. But, I mean, these are measures, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Or these are ways you can avert when there's fire in your home. But ultimately, we should all strive to avoid
them, yes.
You know, certain things. Like in the last time I told the story of how it wasn't intentional. Unintentionally careless I was. But thank God, God saved me. And so, yes, my house didn't burn.
Amen.
But since then, I have been extremely cautious dealing with gas cylinders, leaving, even sockets on at home. And thank God I have my little brother, he is more into science and stuff. And so sometimes when I put off or put on, I leave my sockets on, he will come in, this is not good. You're not supposed to do that. Sometimes even when I leave the irons, whatever, what's it called? I don't take the iron out. I don't plug it out from the socket. He will come and plug it out for me. So these are some of the little things that we can do to ensure that we do not experience fires in our home.
And even at home, for instance, just as you were talking about the gas, if you want to use the gas at home, often at times you see people turning the knob, and then after they turn the knob, then they are trying the matches.
Yeah.
That's the wrong way.
Okay.
Because you realize
strike it first before you turn the knob.
Take it closer to the stove.
Right.
Then you turn the knob. Because you realize that when you put it on like that, and you're now probably the matches might be
Yeah.
wet. So you try and you remember, you realize that
Yeah.
in all that time the gas is free flowing.
And that's why I like the
Self-igniting
hybrid.
one.
No, the hybrid version. That's the electric and then the.
Okay.
So you can just plug it in, and you do. It has a what's that thing called? It's not a match. I've forgotten what it is.
Lighter.
Lighter. It has a lighter, and so you just have to just press it, and then it's yeah. And so last time you were here, we did we experimented with the fire.
It's important to remind
Please,
people.
if you do not know what a fire extinguisher is, this is it, okay? And so we're going to do it. We're going to do it again for the benefits of
those who
you
missed
guys,
out,
our viewers, and so yeah. So
right.
this is the.
I think the last time
one.
too, I showed how people. I don't know if it was here that I showed how people can escape from fires.
Right.
Or
So you did it. We can go through that quickly.
So we have about 10 minutes.
Okay, sure. I can just do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me show that one quickly before I use the extinguisher.
Okay, please do.
So when you enter, or when there's fire in a room, and you find yourself wanting in a room, if you walk or run out of the room, you stand the risk of being choked, or running out of breath before. And most of the time, the smoke would even kill you before the fire kills you. So once, smoke always goes up. So it's always important to stay low. When you stay low, yes, you might feel some heat, but at least it prevents you from being choked by the smoke.
Right.
So whenever there's fire, if you can remember, which would save your life, you go down flat. And once you go down flat, you use your elbow.
Can you move back a bit?
Okay.
So that we can capture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I
can
probably.
capture you.
All right.
Let me join Nuella. I think.
Right.
All right. So whenever
So you have that whole room.
that
to
whole room.
yourself.
All right, sure. So what you do when there's fire is that go down low.
Video this.
When it happens, you go very down low.
Okay.
So that you stay as low as possible from the smoke. So this is how low you go.
Okay.
So you go very, very down.
Okay.
So as you go down, you use your elbow, drag yourself.
Right. Oh, wow.
And that's how you get away.
Okay.
So once you do that, you're able to stay low and away from the smoke.
Right.
So if you're able to do that, because you realize it's important that people know their surroundings so well. Because then someone will say the room is so dark and I'm crawling down. So how will I be able to know where the door is and everything? So occasionally, try closing your eyes and walk through your house.
Okay.
See if you can be able to figure out where this door is. And then also make sure that alternative doors are unhindered. I think last time I said it, that realize that the second doors that people have, that's where they would always keep their barrels and everything.
Yes, the emergency doors.
The keys, you don't even know where it is.
Don't even know where it is. And also when you close your doors, please try and keep the keys. Try and keep the keys close to the door. Because then when you take it out, and probably you put them on a table somewhere, if there's fire and this area is consumed by fire, you won't be able to get access to the keys.
Right.
So it's important that, if you familiarize yourself with your room, the doors, you crawl and get there. Once you just get there, you know that your key is just there.
Okay,
you get there
and you just pick it up.
Oh no, it's already behind the door. So you just, turn it open and then you go out.
Okay.
And I think another very important point that we need to put out there is that these are things that we need to know.
Yeah.
Before they happen. I think that's the mistake that sometimes we do. Ghanaians will want to wait till the thing is happening.
It's happening
and we're trying to figure out.
Then they start calling their fire service friends. Now, me feel sure now from Crawford.
Anyway,
know how to do them before.
So now let's do the fire
the extinguisher. All right.
Extinguisher.
So we have two types of extinguishers here. This is the powder extinguisher, and this is the carbon dioxide.
Okay. So this one leaves residues.
This one leaves residues, and we don't advise using this one in the kitchen.
Okay. In the kitchen.
Yes, because it can be poisonous if once you use it, it can leave residues on your utensils.
Okay.
So if you don't clean the utensil well, it can be poisonous.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's ideal to use the carbon dioxide rather in the kitchen.
Which is just air.
Which is just air, yes. Which dissipates into air. So the way to identify it is that the powder always has this flexible tube.
Okay.
You know, so that's, you might see both colors,
Okay.
but that one often has this flexible tube.
Okay,
And the carbon dioxide has this
okay.
big hard end. You know, so if you want to identify if it's working, for instance, this one is not working, you realize that it's on yellow. This one's on yellow. So even if I should engage it right now, it won't work. If there's fire, this extinguisher can't work.
Yellow.
It's a yellow.
Okay.
It always has to be on the green.
Okay.
Meaning that it's working.
And when it's on red?
On the red?
When it's on red, bad. It's not working.
It's not working.
Yes, it has to always be on green. So if
green or yellow.
Yes, so this should be related to the trotro diaries, especially. If you are driving, be it the trotro, be it a private car, taxi, and a policeman inspects your extinguisher, do not allow him to engage it.
Okay.
It's important to know. If the policeman, he should know by just checking the pressure.
Yeah.
See, do not allow, if the policeman engages it, please push it, no.
Okay.
Because once he uses it, the pressure is out.
Okay.
You can't use it again when there's an emergency.
Okay.
So this is a very important point that people should note.
Okay.
If a policeman stops you to inspect most of the extinguishers in the vehicle are the powder. So that one uses the pressure. Once you use it once, the pressure is out.
Oh.
So how does it build up? How does the pressure come
No,
back?
so you have to, all right. So you have to service it. So once, just like this one needs servicing, for instance. So once the policeman engages it or presses it and the content comes out, when there's an emergency, if you use it, it won't work. Because the air pressure that's supposed to let it work
And that's
is out.
one thing. That's one of the things instructed to know, that with the powder extinguishers, it needs servicing after use.
Yes, and every year too, you have to service it just to make sure that it's in good working condition.
Okay.
Yes, so especially for the trotro diaries people, please.
Okay.
If you are driving and a policeman stops you to inspect your extinguisher, don't allow him to engage it. If you engage
just check the gauge.
Just check the gauge and you'll know if it's working. But don't allow him, if he presses it, push it on the juice.
Okay. Now let's move to the oxygen one.
So this is carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide.
Oxygen, you want to give the fire oxygen?
Give the fire oxygen, we'll spoil it more.
Yeah. Okay, so we're wrapping up in a minute. So let's go through that.
The procedure for using all of them is the same. There's always the safety knob here.
Okay.
So first and foremost, you take out the safety out.
Okay.
Yes. When you don't take it out, the mistake is that the reason is that maybe when you're carrying it, you might make a mistake and engage it.
Yeah.
So once you take it out, so pull.
Yeah.
You aim at the seat of fire.
Yeah.
You squeeze. And then you spray. So try. To the both of you try. To the both of you.
Right.
So we've already pulled it out. So you aim at the seat of fire.
Okay. Please, my enemy is watching me on television. This is for you. I'm engaging.
And then once you engage, then you spray.
Why are you pointing directly?
Once you press, then you spray. So that it tackles every side. Correct. So if you got 50%, you got 100%.
It's okay. My enemy's got it. But anyway, it has been an extremely educative, session here with ADHO.
ADO1.
You get carried.
ADO1, Alex. He's been educating us about fires. If you are a market woman, you know better. And if you are at home as well, you know better. You know how to engage your fire extinguishers. You know what a fire extinguisher is as well. And so we'd like to say thank you so much for joining us for our show today. And of course, thank you to Hisense. Yeah, you want to say anything?
Definitely. So thank you to Hisense. As usual, if you want to stay chilled at home, you want to have your product well refreshed so that when you get in there, you can get stuff to enjoy. You're talking about your Hisense AC, fridges, they have air fryers, every home appliance. Anytime you think about home appliance, you're thinking about Hisense.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and make sure that you share the information that you've learned today with your family and friends.
Yeah.
And definitely next week, Saturday, we will be right back.
My name is Noella Kariniali. I did this with
Yao Odum.
in my new better house.
I receive it.